Hi, good morning. I'm Dr. Vishnu Durga from Action Invest, publishers of the Who's Who in Guyana business. And today I have with me a very special guest whose company is featured in the Who's Who in Guyana business. We have with us Mr. Glenn Lawachi from Guyana Logistics and Support Services Incorporated. Welcome, Glenn. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you for having me on.
Very good, very good. I had wanted to find out, especially for the viewing public, tell us a little bit about Guyana Logistics. When did you guys get started, and what exactly do you guys do?
Okay, well, Glass was founded in 2011 by a group of young Guyanese who saw the need for a service company, especially in the oil and gas industry. So we have been in operation since then, and I mean, some of the service that we offer is we do procurement, we do customs brokerage, we do manpower and recruitment, and also we have a construction company, and we do relocation and domestic support. So those are some of the services that we offer in our portfolio to clients.
But I actually have your website open here as well, and persons would be able to find the website on
Yeah.
the. We have it scrolling at the bottom of the screen as well. We all know the type of issues our country is facing right now. What have you guys been able to do, or how is this affecting you currently? And what are the plans for coming out of it?
Well, I mean, it has affected our operations, I would say, severely, because I think since around the 7th of March, um, you know, our operations have reduced significantly. I mean, primarily due to the COVID-19 situation, and also to, there is the falling oil prices. So because our target market is our clients are all in the oil and gas sector. So with the decline in operations there due to COVID-19, our operation, consequently our operation has suffered. But in terms of the measures that we've put in place for our staff, the office is mostly closed for about 3 weeks now.
Mhm.
Um, we just come in, less than five of us who are senior managers. We just come in about a couple of days a week, maybe 2 3 days a week, and we're only here for about 2 hours the most, and we leave. Also, we've ensured that we're stocked up on PPE for COVID-19. Staff, human resource have done some training, on how to use them, and so we've done that aspect of it, and basically we're following all the guidelines necessary for our protection of ourselves, our loved ones, and also our staff. And
Oh,
that's basically what we've been doing.
that's very very good to hear. I mean, you yourself you mentioned to me earlier that it's about 3 weeks now of somewhat of a shutdown of the office.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
and 3 weeks of this kind of experience. What type of advice would you like to provide to the business community out there?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, you have to ensure, the thing about it, right? When I drive around town on my way to work, I mean, I see businesses open, and I'm able to observe that they're not actually practicing all the steps that are recommended. So I
Mm,
would say, first and foremost, I mean, this is something that you really have to take seriously.
mm,
And once you understand the seriousness of it, then you'd understand that taking the precautions could mean saving a life. So
yeah.
the first and foremost I would say is that take all the necessary precautions as recommended by WHO, and also by the medical community here in Guyana. Oh,
Mm,
there's a curfew in place, so I think we should definitely try to obey that. Well, not try to obey that as much as possible. It's there for a reason. And the second thing would be is try. I know I've read a lot that a lot of companies, because of the reducing operation, they have no choice but to send home staff without pay. But I would say that once you can, please try to keep your staff. It will be a very difficult time for everybody, and especially for people in general, and we should try to keep our staff as much as possible. Maybe even if you keep them with a reduced salary, or whatever the case may be, maybe for a 3 months, but I would urge the business community to try as much as possible to keep their employees.
All right. And you have a lot of people who are actually at home right now, non-essential services, people who may have even lost their jobs. What would you recommend to them at the moment? What's the best way for them to utilize this time?
The thing about it, I'm utilizing the time. I'm actually reading some books. The good thing about it is that I've seen a lot of companies. The thing about it with our operations, we have a very fast-paced operation. So I know it has been trying for a lot of the staff to basically running from 100 to now, probably not doing anything. But we encourage them to use this time to develop themselves. So when you come out of this, you can say, "Hey, I went through a hard period of time, but I learned a new skill, or I got a diploma or something like that." So, for instance, I saw Harvard was giving away a bunch of free courses online, various topics. So we're trying to encourage them. We've created a WhatsApp group. We're all communicating together, seeing how basically as much as possible try to support each other. Even my family, we can't see each other that much. I'm talking about my parents, my brothers, and my sister, but we all have a WhatsApp group, and I would like to think that we're closer than we've ever been.
Very good,
So
very good.
yeah.
Now, I know that you've been in this field of logistics for quite a while. Um, it, it is very cloudy right now because this has not happened in 100 years.
Right.
Oil and gas was the topic of every discussion just before we had our elections crisis and then our COVID crisis.
Right.
Due to the lower demand around the world and this glut being created, we do have oil prices that sank down significantly.
Yeah.
In your opinion, just from your seat where you're sitting, what do you see happening both for Guyana and also globally when it comes to
Yeah.
oil and logistics?
Well, the thing about it for Guyana, I haven't seen anything to suggest that operations in the oil and gas sector will be somewhat diminished. I think what will happen is there will be some postponement, or there will be some setbacks or delays. But from the Guyana perspective, as of now, I haven't seen anything to suggest that once this is settled and everything is behind us, there will be any sort of reduction in activity. So my thing about Guyana is that I think once we're over this period, we will have a period of time where there's going to be a demand for a lot of services. So again, that is what I was trying to say. You try to keep all your employees, because when that time comes, it will be you will need to have all hands on deck. So I don't see at this point in time, I don't see the operations in Guyana, diminishing or anything like that. I just think that we just have to wait it out, and then we're ready to go again. On the global scale, man, that I think that's out of my league. I don't know what will happen. It's if you ask me 3 weeks ago if we would be in this position, I would say never. We're in the 21st century. We have so much technology. We have so much going for us, but yet still here we are. So it will be interesting. It'll be really, really interesting to see how this virus changes the world, and how we progress from here. It'll be it's something to look forward to, actually.
Well, Glenn, I must tell you, thank you very much for sharing your insight with everyone who's viewing right now. And, for those of you viewing, if this information resonated with you, I'd ask you to make sure that you share it so that more people can get the advice that Glenn provided. And Glenn, keep doing a fantastic job. I know that you guys are manning the office, making sure that you're still able to function to some extent. And I look forward to talking to you again in the future. Right? Thank you very much, Glenn.
Thank you, Vishnu. Thank you for having me. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.